तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 11, verse number 10. So in the previous verses we read Krishna's Bal Leela, how he was giving pleasure to the Brajvasis, especially the gopis who were playing with him, asking him to dance, sing, bring things. So now in this sloka he describes one more Leela of Krishna, that is Krishna goes to buy fruits. सक्रीणिहि भो फलानीति श्रुत्वा सत्वरमच्युतः फलार्थी धान्यमादाय ययौ सर्वफलप्रदः। So lady was selling fruits, unlike at present where we have shops now and you can buy fruits, and fruits can come from different parts of country, in fact different parts of the world. So previously these things were not available. People consumed only local products. So local fruits, local vegetables, local grains, that's what people bought. And it was a custom that in the villages, whatever is the local fruit, then there were gardens. There used to be fruit gardens all around. In our childhood we have seen this. So there were no fruit shops or vegetable shops or anything. So in some particular season, the fruits, local fruits, whatever they may be, papaya, guava, mangoes, banana, or some berries. So these are the type of fruits the people, those who own the fruit gardens, generally they will lease it to some people who will take care of it and sell. So they will go around with baskets on their head selling in the villages area. So this is happening in Krishna's time. Now you can order everything sitting on the computer. It will be delivered at your home. A lot of packing which creates so much wastage. So previously there was no packing, everything was just open. Nothing was packed, so there was no garbage produced. Now the present so much garbage comes for everything. So Krishna heard the sound Krinihi Bho Phalani. Sometimes he hear now they go around selling here also. They come with a mobike and they have mic put to that. So they don't have to speak. I always hear somebody selling some soaps and soap powder. Right? Clothes. 100 rupees powder, 1 kg. Early morning you hear this. So they used to go around and selling and shouting, fruit, buy fruits, buy fruits. So Krinihi Bho Phalani. So we will see how the word Krinihi verb is made in the next chapter. Krin dhatu, to sell. So actually to buy. He says buy fruits, and when Krishna heard this, he immediately wanted to buy some fruits. So Phalarthi, right? Because fruits were not that they were in your fridge, you go open it and take the fruits. There was nothing like that. So Phalarthi Dhanyamada Yayau Sarva Phalaprada. So he was very desirous to have the fruits. And for buying fruits you need money, but there was no money in the olden days. Money was not to be seen, so people used to barter. That was custom. You take some grain from the house and give and get the things which you want to buy. So Krishna also did that. He took some dhanya, means some paddy, and he came to buy the fruits. But who is he? He is Sarva Phala Prada. He is the one who is the giver of all fruits. So Karmanyeva Adhikarastu Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that you have the right to perform your karma, but not the fruit, because I am the giver of the fruit. So he is the Sarva Phala Prada. He is the giver of the fruits, but now he is desiring fruits himself. So this is interesting that Krishna wants fruits. So he went and he probably has not seen any money. He doesn't know what money means. Although he is Lakshmipati, Lakshmi Sahasrasam Sambhram Sevyamana, but he has not seen a single dollar in his life. So, but he wants fruit, and fruit don't come free. So he gets dhanya. So teshu ati nichanam pulinda jatinam api priti pradayatyahe krinihiti. So here Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Krishna, he is giver of Preeti even to the low born people like Pulinda, because this job of selling and taking care, this was done by this class of people. So Pulinda Jati Namapi Preeti Prada. So that Preeti which even the greatest of the gods are hankering for, he is going to give it to the lowest caste of people, Pulindas. So that is his greatness. So Achyutaha Paripurno Api. So he is Achyuta, means he is complete in himself, but he is also Falmatra Arthi. He is also now looking for fruit, although he is Sarva Phala Prada Api. Tvaraya Purtaha Sthita Dhanya Matra Prapteya Dhanyanjali Madha. So he knew that he must have seen that when people buy fruits, they give something, some grain, or maybe they give some milk, or they may give some butter. Whatever is the people produce, they give it. So that's how people lived in the past. That those who were even doing work, they will get some grains, etc. in return. So he brought some paddy, dhanya, but he did not bring it in some pot or cup or anything. He just picked it up in his palms. It's a small hand, and he also doesn't know how to close it properly. So most of it fell down when he was walking. So maybe a few grains he brought. So that's how he came. So he was used to stealing. That was his profession, but he realized that here he cannot steal. It will not work. If she would keep the basket and go somewhere, then he will do that, but here it is not possible. So he says, I have no choice. So maybe Yashoda was not around. She was inside somewhere. So he goes and gets the grains. So phala vikrayani tasya chuta dhanya karadvayam phalairapuri adratnai phalbhandam apuricha. So the lady who was selling the fruits, what she saw that chuta dhanya karadvayam, she saw her hands where all the grains have fallen down. So although he is achyuta, that nothing falls down from him, but here he chuta dhanya karadvayam, that whatever he, little grain, how much grain he can get in his palm, but that also fell down because probably he was running with it, eager to get. So she noticed this. So then what she did, maybe few grains were there and he brought. So she put all the fruits in her hands, in his hands. Phalair apuriyad. So the hands which are actually empty, she filled them with fruits. Phalair apuriyad. And ratnai phalbhandam apuricha. So then Krishna, by his grace, the pot or the basket in which she had the fruits, he filled this with gems. That I don't have grains, my grain fell down, so I will give you enough. Nacha tavan matramapi dhanyam taya prapti mityahachate. So even that much grain which he was bringing in his palm, she could not get that also. So why? Because it fell down. Abhyantara tvaraya abhyantarat tvaraya bahir nirgame vartmani eva sarva dhanyani patitani. So he has gone inside the house. Obviously the grains were not kept outside, they must be inside. Generally they were kept in a room inside. There is no light, dark. So to protect from animals, birds, they have to be kept inside. There used to be things made from this paper or clay. So he brought from that, and he was in a hurry because he may walk away, because those who sell, they don't just stay in one place, they move around. Now they have these radis, right? Every day this guy comes in front of our ashram also, but he stands there for a long time. So that was not the case here. So he thought that she is going to walk away, so he ran quickly, and while he was running, then everything fell off from his hands on the path. So the patitani tatascha dvitri matra dhanya yukte keval anjalau eva niyatam ityuktva. So there are only few grains. He says maybe 2-3 grains were remaining in his hand, and he came and he dropped it in the pot of the fruits. So niyatam ityuktva. So he brought those 2-3 grains and he says, take this, niyatam. And ityuktva phalapatre nyaste. So the baskets, he has probably put it down below, so he threw this inside, few grains, and he says, take this and give me the fruits. So phala vikrayani api udbhuta sneha phalai pilvadibhi sarvaireva apuriyat. So when this lady who was selling the fruits saw this, her heart became full of affection for Krishna, because he was so cute, nice, beautiful boy, bringing these few grains, and he says, take this and give me fruit. So she just forgot everything. She was just looking at him, how beautiful this boy is, and gave the fruits. So the fruit which is mentioned here is pilu. So pilu, piluni. Right? Now you know that. Pilu, piluni. And piluna, pilubhyam, pilubhyam. Pilune, not to peel away. For the tree it will be peel away, for the fruit pilune. So pilvadibhir sarvaireva apuriyat. So she had this pilu fruit and maybe some other fruits. So she put all the fruits. Phalesu tasya jata lobhettvene stoke api tatkartaladvaye tadiya vaibhav shakte sahayat. So because Krishna actually wanted all the fruits, this was his fruit greed. He did not want one or two, he wanted everything. So but then she realized that his hands are so small, stoka api tatkaradval, but she kept on putting the fruit on the hand, and somehow the fruits did not fall. It's only the grains which fell down, but not the fruits. So why is that? It says tadiye vaibhav shakti. So Krishna's Aishwarya Shakti became manifest and assisted so that he can have all the fruits. And tatascha ratnairiti tadiya sarvaphala pradatva shaktya tata prem paryanta sarvaireva sampattir abhutit again. And then when Krishna was leaving, then her basket or pot, whatever she had, became full of gems. And not only that, he gave her this wealth, but also gave the wealth of prema. So she got all the opulence. Sarva eva sampatti abhut. So she got, because what can be higher than prema? So therefore this way she got the blessing of Krishna. Yes.
Was Krishna willing to give that wealth, or was it his Aishwarya Shakti and he was not really aware?
No, Krishna, if he was willing, he would have not run inside and got the grains. He would have just stood there and said, okay, right? Fill the basket and get the fruits. That's why he was running for the fruits. So he wanted more fruits because he knows that I am not alone. I have Balram, I have my friends. So we'll have a fruit party. Because when he eats, he doesn't eat by himself. He invites all his friends. So that's why he was not just interested in getting 1 or 2 pilus, but he wanted a whole basket. So after that, he called all his friends, and then they had a nice party with the fruits. And after that, they went to play. So that is what is being described in the next sloka. Sarittiragatam Krishnam Bhagnarjuna Mathavayat Ramancha Rohini Devi Kridantam Balakair Bhrisham. So here in Bhagavatam there is not much details given. There is basically just hints of all these activities. If you want to see the detail, you read Anand Vrindavan Champu, Gopal Champu. There they give more elaborate of all these pastimes. So there we had only 2 slokas. Here it is not even mentioned that they are playing. He says they were playing Sarit Tir Gatam Krishnam Bhagna Arjuna Mathavayat. So Krishna went to the bank of river Yamuna. And who is this Krishna? Bhagna Arjunam, that who has uprooted the Arjuna trees. So Rohini was calling him and Balram, Kridantam Balakair Bhrisham, who was deeply absorbed in playing with his friends. So both Krishna and Balram, now they are walking and running around, and they are playing with their friends at the bank of Yamuna. So there were no playgrounds like these days. You have tennis court and you have soccer field. So there was nothing like that. Just open, you go to the bank of the river, play there in the sand inside the water. So that's where the wrestling, kabaddi, running, jumping, go on the tree. So that's what children in the villages, they play these games. There's no big instruments to play. So but they both were absorbed, and it was time for lunch, but they were not coming to eat. So Rohini, she went to call them. Rohinya Sakashadapi Shri Yashodayam Ati Vatsalyavattyam Ram Krishna Ati Snehavasau iti darshan Yamla Arjuna Bhanga Dineva Lilantramaha. So this description is of the same day on which Krishna has uprooted the Yamala Arjuna trees, and this he is taking from the word Bhagna Arjunam, from this name used for Krishna by Sukdev. So this does not mean that the fruit story also happened the same day. There is not particular order that he is describing. So he says that this also happened on the same day, because this uprooting of the tree happened in the morning. Because in the morning he woke up, came to drink milk, and then Yashoda Mata went to protect the milk which was overflowing. Then he broke the pot, then she tied him, then he uprooted the trees, and then afterwards they went to play. So now it's time to eat. So he says that the love of Yashoda is superior to Rohini. Somebody was asking this question earlier. So he says Rohinya Sakashadapi Shri Yashodayam Ati Vatsalyavattyam. So Yashoda's Vatsalya Prema is superior to that of Rohini. And therefore Krishna and Balaram, they are more under her control than of Rohini. Ram Krishna Vati Sneha Vasa iti. So they are under the control of the love of Yashoda. Means if Yashoda says something, then they listen. If Rohini is calling, they may not listen.
So even Balaram, although he was her son.
Yes. So this is what is being described here in these slokas. So that means besides describing the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram, the intention, the implied sense of this is also to show that love of Yashoda is superior even to Rohini. So earlier we know that it was shown that love of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj was superior to Vasudeva and Devaki. Now this is, although not directly stated in the sloka, but it is understood, as we will know that Rohini was calling and they did not come, then Yashoda has to come to call them. So that's why he is commenting here that love of Yashoda is superior to Rohini and they are under the control of her love. So this is the intention. So darshan means this is what Sukadeva Goswami wants to show here. So Yamala Arjuna Bhang Dineva Leela Antaramaha. So another pastime which happened on the same day as uprooting of trees. Sarit Tire Khelnartham Gatam Krishnam Ramam Cha Uttara Vakya Anurodhat Tad Bhojan Sadhana Shaktya Shri Yashodaya Preshita Rohiniti Kartripadam Gaya. So from the following sloka it is understood that it was time for them to eat and they did not come, they were busy playing. So then Yashoda, she asked Rohini that please go and call them. So that is to be understood here.
So when it comes to the superiority of love, if we can say superiority, or then there is another thing, because I heard from quite a few devotees, they say also, because in some scriptures it's been described like Krishna is, Lakshmi is a consort of Krishna. And so I heard saying, okay, then Radharani comes from Lakshmi, she is incarnation of Lakshmi. That is, it cannot be possible if Radharani's love is superior to the love of Lakshmi. But what I wanted to know, when Radharani is in Vrindavan, she's got the most superior form of love. However, she on a few occasions she leaves Vrindavan and goes to Kurukshetra in Dwaraka. And then what happens with her love there, because her bhav there is also different.
How do you know? How do you know?
I don't know, I read this somewhere.
Where?
In books, in some booklets, like.
So what is her bhav there?
It was just described that she could not fit in Dwaraka. Like
yeah, that does not mean that her bhav is different. Obviously, Dwarka is not the place for her.
Okay.
Why should she fit in Dwarka?
Yeah, she couldn't fit there, so she left at some point. And I was just thinking what happened then with these emotions of love when she goes. So there's no difference basically.
No.
Okay. I was just trying to work it out. And why some devotees think, or some people think that
That
is...
you ask them.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have to speak on their behalf.
Yeah, because it's not possible that Radharani is incarnation of Lakshmi, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Lakshmi cannot even reach Krishna. Sri Rapilalna Charat Tapa. She is doing tapasya to attain Krishna. So how is that her incarnation is attaining Krishna? She herself cannot attain. So nopayatam yada hutau krida sangena putrakau Yashodam preshayamasa rohini putra vatsalam. So when she was calling, then they did not come. They were so much absorbed in play that they did not pay attention. So nopayatam yada hutau krida sangena putrakau. So these two sons, Krishna and Balaram, they were too much absorbed in their play, Krida Sangha. So then she came back and she asked Yashoda that please you go and you call, because I tried and they are not coming. So Yashodam Putra Vatsalam Preshyamas. So she sent then Yashoda, who is very affectionate to Krishna and Balaram. So Yashodam Preshyamas iti tasya eva adhika vatsalya vatyas tadvaya akarshana samarthya nirnayat. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti is making this deduction from this sloka that this means that it is she who has more love, more vatsalya, affection for Krishna and Balaram, and therefore only she has the power, or her love has the power to attract them, because they could not be called by Rohini. So that is the significance of the sloka. For Rohini, she asked Yashoda that you please go. So tasya eva adhika vatsalya. So her vatsalya is more, and thus she can akarshana samarthya nirnayat. She has the ability to pull them or call them or bring them. So kridantam sa sutam balairati velam sahagrajam Yashoda jo havit krishnam putra sneha snutastani. So then Yashoda went to call them, and there she saw that Krishna was playing along with Balaram with other children. So sa sutam sahagrajam kridanti. So she saw her son Krishna along with the elder brother Balaram, who was playing there, and he has already played there for a long time. So ati velam. So she called him Yashoda ajo havait krishnam putra sneha snuta stani. So she had so much love for Krishna that milk was overflowing from her breast. Although Krishna is already grown up, and generally the milk should be not there by now, but because of the sneha, affection. So generally the sneha comes from milk, right? Sneha means fat. But here the milk is coming from sneha. So putra sneha snuta stani. So snuta means overflowing. Her breast was overflowing out of affection, out of sneha. and she was calling them repeatedly, Ajohavit. So Ajohavit means calling again and again. Later on in the next chapter we will have this Panapunya Atishaya Yang Pratyaya. Yang Pratyaya comes where something is done repeatedly or done with too much intention. And then there is Yang looks, it is also dropped. So this is Vaya Dhatu, Vaya Spardha, and Avane to call, but it is made with Yang look here. So means that's why it says Ajohavit Punar Puna Ajohav. That's he called them again and again repeatedly. That means even it's not that as soon as he called they came. Because when children are absorbed in playing, they don't listen easily. Like these days, they are on their iPhone or some video game, so they don't get out of it. It's a kind of addiction. So Nikat Gamne Palayan Sankhya iti Durta iti. So why she did not go near to them? She thought that if I go near, they may run away. So therefore, she is calling from far. Well, they want to play. They may think that now she is the one who bound me this morning. And she is coming again here. So this is how she was calling them. Krishna Krishna Arvindaksha Tate hi stanam piba alam viharai kshutshanta krida shranto asiputraka. So it says Krishna Krishna Arvindaksha. Oh Krishna, oh lotus-eyed one. Oh my son, Tata, Ehi, come here, stanam piba. Drink milk from my breast. Alam vihare, stop playing. Kshutakshanta, you must be now tired by or disturbed with hunger. And krida shranto, you must be tired. So asiputraka, shranto asiputraka, oh my son, you must be this. But this word asiputraka can also mean a knife. Asi means sword and asiputra is knife. But asi here is a verb, shranto asi. So he is saying that you are tired now. He is not saying I am tired. She is saying you are tired and you are hungry. So come, drink milk. So it's amazing that at this age she is calling him to come and drink milk. So that's why this milk is coming out of sneha. It was said. Otherwise normally after 1 year there is no milk. So Krishna Krishna iti vipsa durta shravanaya. So this repetition, Krishna Krishna, this is only done when you call someone from far away. If somebody is nearby, you don't say it 2 times. You have to say it twice when somebody is far, because once they may not hear. But here he did not make the pluta, right? Duravane gane rodne cha pluta smrita. So pluta comes when you call somebody from far, crying, singing. Otherwise there will be no sandhi here, Krishna Arvindaksha. Right? Then sandhi abhav. So he did not make the pluta here. So he Rama gaccha tata ashu sanuja kulanandana pratareva kritaharas tad bhavan bhoktum arhati. So she was not calling only to Krishna but also to Balaram, because she thought maybe there is a better chance if I call Balaram, because he is more obedient than Krishna. So he will listen, and when he comes, then Krishna will follow. So he said, "Hey Ram, oh Ram." So now you know this word Rama and Krishna, both are coming here in Bhagavatam, which make the Mahamantra. So Agachha, come, come, Tata, my son, Ashu, come quickly, Sanuja, along with your younger brother, Kulanandana. So Kulanandana has Visarga or no Visarga? There should be no Visarga here. You have Visarga? This book should not have, because this Kulanandana is for Rama, otherwise you have to apply it for Krishna, but that doesn't make sense. He's not going to say Kulanandana to Krishna. He says, you are Kulanandana, you are the one who gave pleasure to our whole family. So you come. So Pratareva Krita Ahara. So you had breakfast in the morning, and now it's time for lunch. So you should come and eat. So tad bhavan bhoktum arhati. It's time that you should eat now. And it is better to eat at proper time. If you delay, you'll get your pitta disturbed. Then you'll have stomach problem. So don't delay. So pratikshate tvam dasharha bhokshmano vrajadhipaha ehi avayo priyam dehi swagrihan yata balakaha. So he said that the chief of Vraja, Dasarha, which is the name here for Nanda Maharaj, he is waiting for you, because Nanda Maharaj will not eat without them, Bhokshamana. So he is about to eat. Bhokshamana actually should mean one who is eating, but he is about to eat, but he is waiting for you. So ehi. So ehi is that aihi. Said become dehi. So avayo priyam dehi. So make us happy by coming and eating. Swagrihan yata balaka. And then she is also ordering to the other boys that you also go to your home and go and have your lunch. Because if you don't leave, then he will also not leave. So bhokshamana iti yuvam vina bhoktum ashaknuvantam tvam sapitram kim kshudaya pidayasi iti bhava. So bhokshamana means that without you he is not going to eat. He cannot eat without you. So why are you troubling your father like this? Because if you don't come and eat, then he will also not eat. So because he wants to eat with you. There is saying that family which eats together stays together. Right? Now families don't eat together, family members. People eat different times. So if the father is not eating without the children. So swagrihan yata iti yusman mata pitropi vayam iva klishyanti tan sukhe iti bhava. So she is saying to the children that you also go to your home, because your parents are also waiting. Just like we are waiting for Krishna and Balaram, they are also waiting. And they are also hungry. But if you don't go, they will not eat. So this is how people were eating together. Now everybody eats whenever they want to eat. So he says also, go and make them happy, comfort them by going home. Vastutastu krida vichcheda eva tatparyam. But the real intention of Yashoda is that she wants them to stop playing now, so that Krishna and Balaram can come home. Dhuli dhusrita angastvam putra majjana mavaha janmarksha te adya bhavati viprebhyo dehiga suchi So all your bodily limbs are full of dust. So my son, please come and take a dip. And today is also your birth nakshatra. He was born in Mohini nakshatra. So you please come and donate some cows to the brahmanas. So viprebhyo dehi ga suchi. So after becoming clean, you give. Because when you have to give charity or you have to accept, you have to be in clean state. Both one who gives and one who takes. So you come and take bath, or you can jump in Yamuna. There on the bank of river, and then change dress and give some cows in donation. So tadapi anayantam kridotsahadi vara utsahad viramayetum danotsaham utpadayati viprabhyati. So even when she was calling, still they were not coming. They were so happy to play. So now she is making another technique. So they are so enthusiastic to play. So she wants to remove or reduce the enthusiasm for playing and increase the enthusiasm for giving charity. So he says, you have to come, you have to give charity, and you are just busy playing, so stop this playing and come in. These brahmanas are waiting, give them some cows. So pasya vayansyanste matri mrishtan swalankritan tvam chesnata kritaharo viharasva swalankritaha. And then she is saying, look, your friends, they have been given bath by their mothers, and they have been decorated with nice ornaments, garlands. They have put on new cloth. So you also come and take bath and eat, and then you can play again. The children like to play. And anyway, there was no school. So what else they will do? Now when they are 3-year-old, then send them to kindergarten already. So they had this advantage, there was no school here. So they were free, because Krishna went to school only when he went to Mathura. He was already 11-year-old. So for 11 years, he was just illiterate fellow. Did not know how to read and write. That's why it is described when he was counting the cows, he was using the bead bag. Japmala. He will have a mala in his garland, in his neck, and he used to count the cows like this. 1, 2, 9, 3. Now the next one. So tadeva agatan anyan balan darshitva matsaryam janayati pashyati. So now this was another technique to digest him from playing. That look, your friends, they already have, some of them have already left, and they already dressed nicely. So now she is trying to create some matsarya, means a sense of competition in his mind, that you are still dirty, dhul dhusarita, and they are already dressed nicely. So you should also be like them. Just encouraging him to leave the playing. Itham yashoda tam ashesha shekharam matva sutam sneha nibaddhadhi nripa haste grihitva saharam machyutam nitva svavatam kritavatyathodayam. So in this way, Yashoda, finally she reached to them, because they did not stop. So she caught them by the hand, both Krishna and Balaram said, Chalo, let's go home now. So itam yashodatam ashesha shekharam matva sutam sneha nibaddha dhirnip. So in this way Yashoda, whose mind was completely infatuated by the love, who thought of Krishna as her son, although he is Ashesha Shekharam. So Ashesha Shekharam means he was supreme of everyone. Shekhar means the crest jewel, and Ashesha means of everyone. So he is the supreme person of all others, but she only thought of him as his son. Why was that? Sneha nibaddadhi. Because her mind was completely full of love for him. So haste grihitva sah ramam achyutam. So then she caught them by hand now, otherwise they would not leave playing. So he said, Chalo, let's go now. So she caught them by hand, and nitva svavatam kritvati athodayam. So then she brought them to home, and then she gave them bath, changed their dress, decorated them nicely, all this, and then gave them lunch to eat. So tam asheshasya shekharam chudamanim. So Krishna, who is supreme of everyone, who is superior to everyone, who is the best of all beings, sutam matva, but for her he was only the son. Natu ashesha shekharam matva. She did not think of him as some big person or anything like that, just a child. Satu ashesha shekhara sutascha bhavti ityartha. In other words, although he is ashesha shekhara, he is the supreme person, he is the topmost person, yet he is the son of Yashoda. Yadvatam sutam asheshasya swakulasya shekharam matva. Or the meaning is that he is the supreme in his own family, her own son. So thinking like this, swavatam nisthanam. So she brought her to her own place, her house. And udayam snapana bhojana alankaradi mangalam. So she did all these auspicious things to him, means gave him bath, then dressed him and gave food to eat. So this is what the word udaya. Udaya is used in the sense of doing some auspicious activities. So it all includes here. So kritvati athodaya. So we'll stop here. Any questions?
I have two questions, Babaji.
Yes.
So one is, when Yashoda called them, so first she offered her breast milk. Then she said, Nanda Maharaj is waiting with the lunch. So was her intention that he should first drink the breast milk and then he should eat lunch again?
She did not.
She just said.
She did not feed breast milk. It was only said that she was having milk in her breast, and he says, "Come, drink." But it's not described that he drank.
But her idea was that he should drink first.
No, she was just calling him.
It's just enticing.
Yes.
Okay. And the other question is, if Rohini, who is Nitya Siddha, was not able to attract Krishna and Balaram by her love, then how can Bada Jivas, sadhakas like us, even attempt to attract them by our prayer?
So now make the Anuman, the five step syllogism. So Baddha Jiva cannot attract Krishna, right? That is your premise.
No.
Let's- Then you have to give the hetu, because the Nitya Siddha Rohini could not attract. So, anyone who is not attracted by Nitya Siddha cannot be attracted by Baddha Jiva. That is the universal principle, right? And Krishna was not attracted by Nitya Siddha, therefore a Baddha Jiva cannot attract, right? This is the Anuman. That's what you are saying.
Well, there's an assumption. I mean, there's a wrong assumption. I understand, but maybe you can explain it.
So if it is a wrong assumption, what I have to say? So where is the flaw in the logic?
The flaw is probably that it's not true that anyone who's not a Nitya Siddha cannot attract.
So your thing is saying that he is attracted only by Nitya Siddhas. That's what you are saying, right?
Not necessarily. I'm just taking. There's only one example. It's not a general principle. I'm just seeing that Yashoda, Rohini could not attract.
Yeah, but attract does not mean that she was only calling them. You are just taking not only one example of Rohini, but one particular instance. As if Krishna and Balaram were never, if Rohini calls, they never come. It's not true. We already said that here the intention of Sukadeva Goswami is not to show that Rohini could not attract them, but wants to show that love of Yashoda is superior to her. So that's what we have to understand. This is how we have to grasp Shastra, like this principle of Purmimansa. Nahi ninda nindyam ninditum pravartate abitu prastutam stotum. That the criticism is given not to criticize that who is being criticized, but to praise what is being established. So here the intention is not in that Rohini was not able to call, but Yashoda was able to call and she has more love. That is the intention. Otherwise it will look like that Rohini has no love because she can never attract them. And then obviously the question comes which you are raising.
Thank you.
Anything else?
So Yashoda is addressing Krishna here with a polite pronoun Bhavan. Is this? Then the next verse, it is said that she has so much Vatsalya, Sneha for him. So, is this normal, or is it? Could you maybe explain, why she's in one instance then speaking so polite, respectfully, and then the next?
No, you can also speak. Polite is not only just respectfully, also out of love also they speak. It's like people out of love say that to the daughter, you are my princess. So princess is obviously somebody who is respected, you can say, right?
Unless you are the king.
No, but the parents are not saying that I am the king. So it's also out of affection, you say that.
So therefore the polite ways of speaking in Sanskrit do not imply that someone is superior or something like this.
I mean, Bhavan is used like that, but I am saying that it is also used in the sense of just loving exchange. If she was not saying Tata and Sutta, then you could say that's just out of respect.
And Tata, what does it mean?
Tata actually simply means, it's a word which has different connotation. It's also used out of affection. It comes from the root tanu vistare, expansion. So it can be used for children, for somebody who are, for father also tata is used. So means affectionate.
I used to call my father Tata.
Here also some people call tata. Anything else? All right.